Hello, men and women of God. My name is Monica with Our Exodus Ministries. I come to you today with part 2 of the Cleansing of the Earth video. If you hadn't had a chance to watch part 1, I would encourage you to watch part 1 before you watch part 2. So in part 1, I talk about the dream and the word of the Lord that he gave me. And that was, he was going to send his spirit that is going to create graves. And when I asked for instructions of what to tell the people, he said to tell them to be Noah and to have the blood to cover them. So today I want to talk about being Noah. And in the word, the word says that Noah was just and he was perfect during his generation. And also he found grace in the eyes of God. So even though he was just, even though he was perfect, he still needed grace to be saved. And that is important to know, because when God said that my spirit shall not strive with man because of his flesh, so that means that the days of him shall end at 120 years. God wasn't putting a cutoff limit to the age of men. What that meant was the moment that he released that word, he gave the people 120 years to get it right. And out of 120 years to get it right, Noah was the only one to find grace in the eyes of God. That speaks volume, but it lets us know that we need grace in order to be saved. So going back to Noah also had the heart for God. He had the heart for God. He had the heart for Christ also, because if we think about the word is the word of God. And the word says, in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God. The word was there at the very beginning. And so Jesus was there at the very beginning. Jesus was there before Mary gave birth to him. So he had the heart for Christ, and he practiced the law very well. And what was the law then? Before, God even gave Moses the law was the law of obedience. It was the law of obedience. And we know that Noah was very obedient, because God told him what to do, and he did it to a T. He made the ark out of the material that he told him to make, the depth, the height. He did everything. And so Noah was obedient, and that is what God needed. He needed a man that was just. He needed a man that was perfect. But even at that, he still found grace because of his obedience. So Noah did all of that. The waters came, the flood came, and Noah and his family was on the ark. So they were all to be saved, including the animals that he told them. So when the waters receded, God told Noah that I am going to create a rainbow to give you a sign that is going to be a token of this covenant that I'm going to make for you and the people. And it is going to be a sign saying that I'm never going to destroy the earth by water again, because we know that there's been floods that have taken people out, but he said the entire earth. So he's not gonna, cleanse the entire earth by water again. And what he did was he said, I'm gonna create this bow in the sky. What is a bow? A bow is an arc. That is the definition for an arc, a bow. And so when we think about the ark, we don't necessarily think about the rainbow. We think about the ark that Noah built. And I know some people are going to say it's spelled differently, but if you think about the English language and how it's been translated, it's all in the same. The ark with the K, ark with the C. But it is a bow. Another definition of an ark is a large chest. And what is a large chest? It is that thing that held Noah and his family and the animals. So those were two arks Those are two arks. And when we think about the word, what else do we think about when we think about an ark? We think about the ark of the covenant, which held all the items, the law, and all the items that God gave the children of Israel. It was the covenant. And so the rainbow was a token of the covenant. The ark was the covenant, and the ark of the testament was the covenant. But there was also another covenant that God gave us, and that was his son. And so when we think about what that means to be Noah, it means to have the heart of Christ, to have a covenant with God, because Noah had the heart of Christ before Mary gave birth to him. And so God sent his son as another covenant to save his people. And so to be Noah means to have a covenant with God. It means to have a relationship with God. It means to have the heart of Christ, the heart of his son, in order to be saved during this cleansing. And so that is what it means to be Noah, to have a covenant with God, to have a relationship with God. And to be Noah means to be obedient. And this is how you are saved during this cleansing. Be Noah. Have the heart of Christ. Have a relationship with God. Not just practice religion, but have a relationship with God in order to be saved. And one of the other instructions that he gave me was to be covered by the blood. And I will make these videos short so you won't be overwhelmed, because it is a lot of information to take in. So I'll come back to have another video about the blood and what it means to be covered by the blood. To be covered by the blood and to be Noah. So we can all, the children and the children of Israel, the men and women of God, can be saved during this. I love you, men and women of God. Take this video into consideration. Ask the Lord about it, and he will give you confirmation. Peace, may peace be with you. Have a good day.